topic, my childhood, our childhood. Well, like I said, I was born in 1976 in South Central Los Angeles at Dr. Martin Luther King Memorial Hospital. My mother, Miss Almeda King, and Mr. Robert King were my two parents. Both born and raised in the dirty South. My mom from Hollandale, Mississippi. My father was from Nashville, Tennessee. My mother and father met in Chicago. And my mom worked as a nurse assistant or something like that at Cook County Hospital. My daddy was an EMT ambulance driver at the time. And they met up and they started dating. Then my sister was born in 63 in Hollandale, Mississippi. My mom had my sister in Mississippi. And my mom stayed in Mississippi for a little while before going back to Chicago. But she left my sister in Hollandale with my grandmother. My grandmother basically raised my sister a little while my mother was getting on her feet. And so on and so on. Things got better for her, but at the same time, my sister was still in Hollandale. But later on down the line, my mom got tired of the cold in Chicago. Father got tired of the cold in Chicago. And they decided to move to Los Angeles, California in 1968. Now, when my mom left and moved there 7 years later, I was born. And I can tell you the things that I remember growing up in Los Angeles it's basically like a movie in my mind, because I've seen a lot of things that most people probably has never seen in their entire life, because you see things about Los Angeles on television and you wonder, how is Southern California really? Well, Southern California was just a place where sunshine and palm trees and all the little goof ass shit that people seem to love and care about. But it was a big step in my life to basically seeing how life was going to be as I got older. I'm going to share y'all guys some pictures of me. This is a picture right here of me and my other sister that lives in Philadelphia, Doris Jackson. And she's holding me when I was a baby in 1976. The thing about it is, growing up in beautiful, sunny California, it has its good times and its bad times. But I can tell you one damn thing about it. I learned a whole lot more. I learned more being in the South than I did being out West, believe it or not. But I will get into that in a few ticks. But for the most part, growing up in Los Angeles was basically a challenge, because in the 70s, I'm sure y'all know about the 70s. I mean, that was around, I was born in the disco era. So people were pretty much enjoying themselves, having a good time. Basically living their lives like we're supposed to live our lives today. But, I'm going to keep it gutter about how it was back in the days that I can remember. I remember, my mom basically, just being half and half, a homebody and a worker, as well as my father. They both did their damnness and did an excellent job raising me, from a baby to a grown man, teaching me right from wrong, basically chastising me, ass whooping me, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, It didn't do no damage to me. The only thing it did was just made me stronger throughout the years of my life. You know, back then, you know, around that time in the late 70s or whatever, black people that I can think of now as a grown man, looking back then, was very, it was basically getting to that point where it was going to be a single parent concept going on. But it wasn't as bad as it is now, because see, even living in Los Angeles at the time, I never really even knew nothing about a single parent situation coming up, because everybody that I seen that was in our circle, you know, in my family, you know, as well as friends or family or whatever, they all had fathers, they all had mothers, and it was like one big happy family, you know, to the points where we went camping, we went fishing, we went places and stuff, to the park, and just had a good time. And these are things that I remember as a child coming up, you know, and even, you know, to where that I knew how to respect myself. But even though I fucked up a lot of times, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, that was all growing up. You know what I'm saying? And I could never tell nobody that I was, you know, or wasn't no bad motherfucker. Yeah, I was. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, yeah, I was a child. I mean, kids gonna be kids, as they say. You know, and even to this picture right here, you can see I was up to no good just by the way I was looking. This picture here, I think, was taken in 1978 over my Uncle Robert's house. God rest his dead. My Uncle Robert and his wife, Alice. You know, and you know, like I say, I had a good childhood. I'm not gonna even tell no lies that I didn't have a good childhood. I had a damn good childhood.